Thank you for joining me for this special Halloween episode of the Wild Sonnets Out Loud. My name is Nicholas Korn, and I am the poet of the Wild Sonnets. For this reading, I wanted to feature two poems from the 7 Wild Sonnets books that lean into the eerie or macabre. The first poem is from the first book of Wild Sonnets. Back in 2017, I heard a loud sort of roaring coming from the back of the house. When I went outside to investigate, I saw hundreds of crows in the trees behind our house and in our neighbor's yard. Of course, I had to write about it, and the result was this poem, Wild Sonnet number 85. A hearkening of crows now gathers high in the pitch and portent of the fingering elms. For whom they call and why, the wind will carry on its own dark wing a summons for some that blindly do not wait for whatever nighted news the northern air decrees by these black messengers within the trees. The heart itself will clench to hear them call as they peer down upon the upward raising heads of men. On whom do they pronounce from their barren perch and purgatory bent the rook of judgment and the daw's descent? What soul will not give thanks to say and see, this closing comes, but does not come for me? And that was Wild Sonnet number 85 from the very first book of Wild Sonnets. Just a quick mention, all of the Wild Sonnets books are available at wildsonnets.com. Now to continue. One of the primary opportunities I have tried to create for myself with the Wild Sonnets series is to poetically and empathetically put my thoughts into as many different emotional experiences as I can think of. Usually I try to balance the positive and negative, but with the next selection I allowed myself to go as nihilistic as I could imagine. I allowed myself, for the sake of the poem, to be terrified and without hope of escape. This is Wild Sonnet number 478 from the Wild Sonnets Volume 5. The knuckled spider knows his prey will come, as fragile as entrapment is, and patient upon his harp and hum. The tickle of the web is an announcement of the end, an instant of captivity is all the lace will lend. Then death becomes mechanical, instinctual as steel. The prickling of the eights is the last the fly will feel. The beetle and the bee, despite their sting and shell, will suffer here the same in this filigree of hell. We are all of us the weavers waiting to descend. We are all of us enwrapped in what our panics can't defend. We are all of us by instinct, the feeding and the fed. We are all of us believing heaven lies ahead. And that was Wild Sonnet number 478 from the Wild Sonnets, Volume 5. I hope you've enjoyed the 2 Wild Sonnets I've read in this episode. If you think your friends and followers would appreciate these poetical treats for Halloween, please feel free to share this video with them on whatever platform you and they prefer. In conclusion, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in a couple of days with 2 more poems from the Wild Sonnets series. Until then, stay wild and stay well.